to our Sunday in the NFL. Game of the night, rematch from Week 5. Chiefs, Raiders in Vegas. Dan, pick it up with the Chiefs down 17-14 in the third. Mahomes looking for Travis Kelce.
This is such a great job, Mahomes, of breaking the pocket. Greeny, you're not supposed to be able to do this stuff. Spin it out of the pocket, going to your left, but funny off-body throw, completion. Kelce not be able to do that, and I love the finish by CEH down in the red zone. Big physical run for their offense.
The Chiefs a 21-17 lead. Now we go to the fourth quarter, as this one would go back and forth. Raiders down 4, but Derek Carr, his favorite target on the night was the big tight end Darren Waller, and Danny's wide open.
I love the aggressive play call. Waller comes scraping across the back of the end zone, right to left. Awesome job by Carr finding him.
But Mahomes would then take the challenge. This is a fourth down play. Demarcus Robinson, they get it. A couple of plays later, they're first and goal. Remember, they still have Le'Veon Bell, the forgotten man with a touchdown.
Yeah, you see the kick outside. You're trying to get to the perimeter of the defense. Awesome job out front blocking. But how about Lev Bell finding the end zone for this Chiefs offense?
Derek Carr was ready, though, for this challenge. He'd bring him right down the field, and a third and goal from the one. Who is it? It's Jason Witten in the corner for the touchdown, Dan.
It's an outstanding job by Witten of going to that back pylon, and look at him coming to the bottom of the screen, back to that front pylon. Carr sees it, puts it right on his chest. Great secured catch by the big guy.
But here's the problem. They left 1:43 on the clock, and that's probably 1:42 longer than Patrick Mahomes would need. That's Hardman for a gain of 9, and then later in the drive, his favorite target all night was Travis Kelce.
It's an awesome job of him seeing that backside safety. Kelce sitting in that zone completion.
I just said it again. His favorite target all night was Kelce. Derek Carr can't stand to watch because he knows what's going to happen. Mahomes moving in the pocket. Kelce, 8 catches, 127 yards, and that touchdown to give Kansas City the lead in the waning half minute. Again, look at Mahomes finding space and finding his man wide open. The Raiders would need a miracle. They'd have their chance. 1st and 10 from their own 25. Out comes Derek Carr. Can he be the hero? That's the question, and the answer in this case is no. Just floats this, and Daniel Sorensen picks it to seal the game. Mahomes, 34 of 45, 348, 2 touchdowns, and the pick. What a season series these two teams put together. An amazing game, 4 fourth-quarter lead changes, a go-ahead touchdown by both teams in the final 2 minutes. Moving forward, the Chiefs may not want to see this matchup in the playoffs. Both games decided by 1 score, but if the season ended today, Kansas City would host Las Vegas in the wild card round. And so let's pick it up and have our first conversation there. Rex, number one thought coming out of that game on Sunday night?
The Raiders are a hell of a lot better than most people think. And quite honestly, you talk about that possible playoff matchup, Grady. I think we may see it. I mean, this team is a complete football team. And to me, you're right. This is one of the only teams in the league that give Kansas City all they want.
They really did an extraordinary job last night, RC. What are you seeing from the Raiders on offense? They put together as much defense as you can, I guess, against Kansas City, but it's their offense that impressed last night.
Yeah, listen, the Las Vegas Raiders are one of the top 3 teams in the AFC, and I believe they're the second best offense in the AFC right behind Kansas City. I talked about it on Friday that when we see this unique excellence like we've seen in Kansas City, teams start to scramble to try to beat them. Think about LeBron James being in Cleveland, finding a way to beat the world record-breaking Golden State Warriors. What they go do? They went out and got KD because they said they needed a superstar. Now, look at the Oakland Raiders. Most teams try to build with defensive ends and secondary players to try to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, but the Raiders said, we're going to fight fire with fire. We're going to have as much offense as you have, and we've seen that in 2 games. They went toe-to-toe, tat for tat, stood in the middle of the ring, and slugged it out offensively with the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's been extremely fun to watch. This offense can beat you any way you ask them to. They can run it, they can throw it, they can play the short game, they can play the long game. They're impressive to watch, and not a team you want to face in the playoffs.
How about the performance of the quarterback last night, Dan? Again, I don't want to take Patrick Mahomes for granted, but we sort of do take it for granted. He was brilliant last night. He's always brilliant. But how about the Raiders quarterback?
Derek Carr was outstanding. You know, Greeny, this is a football team offensively that has a great formula. If you look at what they did with Derek Carr last night, it was a ton of condensed formations, get to line of scrimmage, and hey, Carr, you control the game. Almost like Peyton Manning used to do back in the game back in the day where they would allow him to go up and not necessarily get them out of bad plays, but consistently get them into really good plays. And they got really good players. Renfro's a really good player. Waller, Jacobs, Aguilar's making plays. So Derek Carr was outstanding. And they're operating this offense at such a high clip. And Derek Carr is so comfortable right now with John Gruden and Greg Olson's offense that he has complete confidence and control of this football team. But here's the reality, guys. They played a great game. The Raiders were as good as they can be. Wasn't good enough. Like, that's the thing with the Chiefs. It's however you want it, they'll give it to you that way. Like, that's the truth about this football team. The Raiders have a perfect formula to beat Kansas City. They executed it perfectly, and it still wasn't good enough.
Yeah, RC, quickly. I used to say that about this. Go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying the truth about this football team isn't about the fact that you got to execute it personally or the Kansas City Chiefs can beat you any way they want to. It's because they got Pat Mahomes.
Sure.
It's the same reason why they have a loss. The Pittsburgh Steelers don't have a loss, and they are always number one in my power rankings. And you were almost correct, Dan. You said they executed perfectly, and they almost did. The thing they did, they left too much time on the clock for Patrick Mahomes. There was nobody in America watching that game last night when it was 1:43 left that said to themselves, Patrick Mahomes isn't going to score a touchdown. And that's the problem, and that's the danger in playing that team. But I think when you look at offensive teams that match up with the Kansas City Chiefs, the Las Vegas Raiders do it the best.
All right, so that was a game in which both quarterbacks put up huge numbers, and it was score for score at the end. That's the kind of game Rex Ryan hates. Let's talk about the kind of game Rex Ryan loves. How about the slugfest? Titans, Ravens, thriller of the day. Rex, pregame, the Titans are meeting out in the center of the field, and John Harbaugh doesn't like it.
No, he doesn't like it. They're sitting back saying, okay, it's on. It's getting ready to get on, and it was.
It was absolutely on. You could see Harbaugh and Malcolm Butler were drawing a little bit. Then in the third quarter, the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, Dan, his favorite target is Mark Andrews.
I love this play design. It's a cover 3 attacker. Andrew goes up, kind of breaks out, goes that back pylon, touchdown Ravens.
So the Ravens have an 11-point lead. They should be able to put a game away when they're playing from well out in front. But then Lamar does this.
Yeah, Greeny, you don't do this to a guy that's not one of those opportunity ball receivers. Duvernay's not that guy, giving him that chance. Huge turnover for Tennessee.
Titans kick a field goal, and then this is inexplicable. Down 21-16. Rex, how does A.J. Brown score on this play?
Not against the Ravens, you don't. By the way, Queen, you're a linebacker, man. That can't happen. Come on.
Look at the
knock him back.
The power and the desire from A.J., but that's just an embarrassing moment there for usually the bullies on the block, which is Baltimore. Titans, a 2-point conversion, puts them up 24-21. Under 2 minutes to go, Lamar Jackson scrambling, gets them in field goal range. They would set up for Justin Tucker. Was there ever any question he makes this game?
No, absolutely no question, Greeny.
Big trust. Justin Tucker, 29 yards, and it's good. We're going to overtime. Ravens win the toss. They're going to receive first. But, Dan, they would go no.